How comfortable are you being idle? As a high-achieving woman, you might dream of utter relaxation, but the internal and external pressure to stay productive and highly efficient might sabotage your attempts to take a break. While action is required to achieve results, action without strategy, reflection, and rest can result in needless activity and wasted time. This episode covers why always being busy is counterproductive and keeping you from achieving your biggest goals. If you are new to the Women Taking the Lead podcast, hello and welcome. I'm Jody Flynn. I'm the CEO and founder of Women Taking the Lead, a leadership development company that works with organizations and boards to close the performance gap by attracting, developing, and successfully promoting more women into senior levels of leadership. I help organizations realize these benefits through coaching, consulting, leadership development programs, and keynotes. I am now the past president of the board for the Maine Women's Conference, and I have the privilege and joy to work with women leaders to hone the skills and the mindset that allow them to grow into and then thrive in senior leadership. My specialization is working with women who are still stabilizing after their last promotion and those who want to be ready for the next one. If we are not already connected on LinkedIn, please send me an invitation to connect. You can find me directly at linkedin.com/in/Jody Flynn, or you can search on the platform for Jody Flynn. I'm very active on LinkedIn, so I should be at or near the top of the search results. Be sure to add a note to the invitation letting me know you're a listener of the podcast. I would love to connect with you and get to know you better. When you give over to busyness, you throw away one of the best tools you have for being productive, happy, and protecting yourself from burnout. That's rest. To do more meaningful work and become more creative and productive, you need to take a step away from always being on. The modern workplace is hectic, but only if we let it be. When things at work start moving fast, we typically do exactly what makes the situation worse. Instead of stepping back, most of us push harder. And as a consequence, we end up doing more and working harder than we needed to. The lure to be busy may come from many sources. It could come from being understaffed with a big unexamined workload, or from undeveloped time management skills. Could there be a benefit to you staying in the experience of being busy? Being busy might make you feel in control or worthy, or you might use busy as a way to avoid reflection and coming face to face with what isn't working. I've also had friends who openly admitted they stayed busy to make it easy to say no to the things they didn't want to do. It was an easy out. Ironically, being busy makes us feel good. We check boxes. We answer tons of emails. Others may see and respect us for the enormous workload we've taken on. But I'm telling you, busy is a trap. Busy perpetuates busy and becomes a fast track to burnout. When we become busy, our minds become hyper-focused on the most immediate work. Think meetings, emails, and being a sounding board for others. Consider the workload of your organization. How much time do you and your colleagues spend in meetings, on the phone, and responding to emails? One study published in the Harvard Business Review showed that at many companies, employees were spending about 80% of their time on these mundane tasks. This ultimately leaves these employees very little time for critical work that they needed to complete on their own. And I quote, "Performance suffers as they are buried under an avalanche of requests for input or advice, access to resources, or attendance at a meeting." When your schedule looks like this, you're left with the options of working at night and on the weekends to complete the critical work on time, to push off the deadline, or a blending of both. In this type of environment, burnout and turnover become very real risks. Is your company experiencing any burnout or deadline delays? Busyness might be a factor in the phenomenon. When we are super busy, everything feels like it's on fire and needs our immediate attention. Have you ever had that experience when you can't decide what to do first because it all seems very critical? Our executive function diminishes when we are too busy and we are getting tired. Part of the problem with being busy is the perception that when someone is busy, they are productive. But on closer examination, they are not. That's why we have the joke of wearing the badge of busy, right? It gives us a status like we're doing super important work. But are we? And that's what we have to ask ourselves. And there are 4 distinctions between busy and being productive. Busy has a frantic energy to it, while being productive is focused. Being busy is fueled by perfectionism, while being productive is fueled by purpose. Being busy is about working more and working harder, while being productive is about working efficiently. Being busy is about needing to do and be good at everything, while being productive is about being great at a few key things. In a minute, I'm going to share some solutions to neutralize being busy. I don't know about you, but I have discovered some amazing music, books, TV shows, movies, restaurants, and definitely podcasts because a friend told me about them. Our network, made up of friends, family, colleagues, and acquaintances, are a vital source of information and access to resources. If you find the content and suggestions from this podcast valuable, could you share it with a friend or colleague? Typically, the best way to share a podcast is to share a specific episode that made you think of the other person. You can share an episode right from your podcast app, or you can send the webpage link found in the episode description. My goal is to help millions of women to grow and feel calm and confident in their leadership. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me to do this. And I thank you for helping the woman in your life be the confident leader she is meant to be by introducing her to this podcast. Okay, let's get into the solutions to neutralize busy work. First, be very clear on the dangers of being busy. Know what the experience of busy is for you. What are the thoughts, feelings you experience when you are very busy? What are the consequences to you and others when you get really busy? Second, be honest with yourself and others. What can and cannot get done? Do you need to say no or set boundaries around what you will and will not do? Can you delegate, hire, or outsource any work or tasks? Can you not attend all the meetings? If you're feeling triggered by these suggestions, let's talk, because this is at the root of the experience you're having if you are experiencing being busy. Third, intentionally plan your time. Break up your day by activity. You want time for focused work, time for collaboration, think those meetings and email, and time for rest and reflection tied with strategic analysis. This gives you the time to both move things forward and take a step back and evaluate if your time is being used effectively. Also, I want to make the case for reflection. Mind wandering and daydreaming has been proven to have benefits to creativity, productivity, and focus. Allowing your mind to wander during your reflective time cultivates new solutions and ideas and boosts your focus time. You can also induce mind wandering by intentionally engaging in mundane tasks. Think cleaning, organizing, and ordinary chores. It's usually when we're in the shower, brushing our teeth, or walking the dog that we get hits of inspiration. This is because these are the times that we're not trying to accomplish anything that takes focused brain power. As long as you put your phone aside during these times, it allows the other parts of your brain to fire up. The key is to allow yourself to get relaxed and get a little bored by what you're doing. Lastly, get clear on when work stops. Having a clear distinction between work and non-work times is critical. This was an issue before the pandemic, but with the work from home and hybrid work models, the lines have become even more blurred. This also lends to that always-on experience. Set a time to stop and, barring an emergency, and be clear what an emergency means, log out of all work devices at that time. And don't log back in until work time starts again later. It may help to have a ritual if you don't have one baked into your life already. You may have commitments that make it clear when your workday ends, like picking up your children from school. If this is not the case for you, create a ritual. Maybe you change your clothes and do a workout. Maybe you change into super casuals or even your pajamas. Starting dinner or being in the garden might do it for you. Having something that clearly signals to your mind and body that the workday is done will support you in having a clear distinction between work and non-work. And if you need help with any of this, let's chat. If your last promotion left you feeling unstable in your leadership role, or you are looking to develop into your next role, I invite you to consider working with me. I would love to support you through the transition, help you get your bearings, and feeling confident in your leadership once again. You can find the link to schedule an exploration call with me in the episode description. If you're listening through a mobile device, that link will be in your podcast app. If you're listening through the Women Taking the Lead website, the link will be toward the bottom of the episode webpage. And as always, I hope this was of value to you, and here's to your success.